What is going on, SoFi fans? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today I want to go over the data points, what they're saying, and potentially from here where SoFi might be going. So before I get into any of that though, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Always greatly appreciate that. And without further ado, let's get right to it. So currently up 2.83% on the actual technicals though, looking very bullish because it is going from the lower to the higher percentile of the Bollinger Band. And as well, stochastic does have a very nice deviation, so black line above the red, showing a very bullish sentiment is behind the scenes. RSI is currently at 59 and number of retail investors are getting in today. So clearly, I think behind the scenes, there's a lot of optimism. And more specifically with this week, there's two economic data points coming out that could really give SoFi a very good rally. And those economic data points are coming out on Wednesday and Friday. So Wednesdays is ADP non-farm employment change. Forecast is 200,000 and Friday is non-farm payroll, which similarly is at 200,000. So when it comes down to those two data points, they are very much linked to consumers. So of course, if consumers are still out there making the money, earning the income and spending it so far, then in theory, SoFi and the broader economy is going to really benefit significantly. So this is where this week will be a very positive week for SoFi. But generally speaking, I think right now a lot of people are still very doubtful on SoFi because even if you look at the, for instance, the options activity so far today, there's a lot of puts being purchased. Which oddly enough, I have no idea why, because the fundamental earnings and so forth for SoFi have just been absolutely amazing every single quarter. So I don't understand how someone could be very much still at this stage doubtful on SoFi. And even if you do, for instance, look at the options activity, the put/call ratio is kind of high. So a lot more puts are being purchased. So clearly, people are very much doubtful on SoFi. And when it comes down to people betting against SoFi, I'll give you a quick update on shorts. As I've said in the past, I don't see SoFi having a squeeze, but in theory, these are the individuals that are betting against SoFi. So it's good to see what they're doing. Short score is currently 62. Utilization is 47%. So definitely fairly low. As far as what they are doing today, though, shorts are returning 309,000 shares. 9.14% of the free float is in fact being shorted, so that's kind of high if you want to consider it that way. 72.4 million shares being shorted. Cost to borrow is just pennies. So like I said, I don't anticipate SoFi ever having a squeeze, at least in the foreseeable future. And the fact that they are returning shares today is showing that at least they do anticipate it to go up. So the only potential negative, I guess, is just a lot more puts are being purchased. So once again, let me know your thoughts on that. I'm not a financial advisor on an FYI, but keep in mind when it comes down to options activity, this doesn't really dictate the price by any means. It's just a good sentiment to see what is happening behind the scenes and usually what big money is doing. So when it comes down to what big money is doing, these are all the transactions so far on this dark pool. So the dark pool is often enough very linked to shorting. So maybe that might be them returning the shares. And these are all the transactions so far on the secondary market. Secondary market for the most part is what typical retail investors do trade on. This is a little bit lower than what we're typically used to. So maybe big money is really taking a step back. But like I said, a lot of the technicals are looking very, very good. But maybe behind the scenes, they are waiting for validation on these two data points. As well, Powell is speaking multiple times this week. So I think that's also a little bit more of a Russian roulette. And just a lot of people are bringing up some negatives, maybe to suppress SoFi behind the scenes. Because, for instance, even the student debt, a lot of people are bringing that up, which in reality, I think SoFi is really branched out and away from the whole student debt kind of thing, but oddly enough, people still bring that up as a potential negative. But once again, let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. If this data is very positive, like I said, those 2 points, then I do anticipate us retesting around the $8 range. I don't think at this stage in the game we have enough to get over that, but in theory though, if those are positive, then we can easily see a very nice run up to around $8. But of course, these videos are for entertainment purposes only. Give yourself a shout out in the comments below if you have been buying during this time frame, if you are selling, what you are doing, potentially where you see things going as well. Let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. If you haven't already, hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And without further ado, I appreciate you guys watching. Let's all make a lot of money on SoFi.